Hey, good Friday evening, everyone. Better late than never, but here is weather for Weather Geeks on this Friday night. Well, today turned out to be a damp afternoon, but temperatures were still very mild. We got up to 60 this afternoon. We're currently firmly in second place on all-time warmest Novembers in Youngstown at the airport anyway. So I don't think we'll make it to number one. 1931 is number one, and it's pretty much out of reach. But we should finish second. This fall, I'll tell you, after a pretty warm October, a pretty warm November, it's been a nice fall. We surely will pay the piper at some point, but so far so good this fall season. I want to talk about December real quick here. Here was our December forecast, part of our winter forecast that we put out back at around Halloween. We called for a warm December compared to the average, maybe by an order of 3 degrees. And I still think the basics of this forecast are in good shape, and we probably aren't warm enough. We could have a near record warm December once again across our part of the country. The computer models are really honing in on at least the first half of December being quite a bit warmer than average. Here's the latest climate model for the month of December, and look at the vast expanse of warmer than average temperatures across Canada, across the northern tier of the U.S. The colder weather is down here. This is just classic El Nino stuff here. When you look at El Nino temperature maps that are for a typical El Nino, this is kind of what you get. Those typical El Nino maps are formed by blending together a lot of El Ninos, but this is the kind of map you get. So this is just pretty classic stuff for a December and a strong El Nino. Here's the Climate Prediction Center's forecast for December, showing lots of high chances of above average temperatures across the northern tier of states. So I think we're in for another warmer than average month in December, and perhaps to the same magnitude that we've seen in November. November will probably finish about 5 to 6 degrees above average here in Youngstown, and we might see similar things going on during the month of December. All right, back here in the near term, this evening at 8:45, it is still warm. It's in the mid-50s, but notice Cleveland's 44. The front's knocking on the door. That cold front is right in through here this evening, and Detroit's down to 37. So reality's going to settle in later on tonight and into our Saturday. Look how sharp this front is. This has been fun to watch, especially down in Texas. Look at the difference between Houston and Austin. Solid 30 degrees. Big temperature changes on either side of this front. So tomorrow is going to be a day where whatever the temperature is first thing in the morning, that'll probably be about the high for the day. Temperature might rise a degree or two, but that should about do it. All right, the wet weather has been real spotty, mostly light. That's the case this evening. It's kind of misty and drizzly, and we can expect a pretty similar night tonight. Here's our high-resolution Futurecast model showing us what the radar should look like as we go into the overnight, into tomorrow. What you see is what you get. Now, the front has looked slower and slower with each successive model run, so I think we're going to hang on to the wet weather for a good chunk of the day tomorrow, particularly north of, south of 224, I should say. But even north of 224 through midday, you might still be wet, with lowering chances for rain in the far northern part of our viewing area as we go through the afternoon. The southern areas, pretty good chance to get wet throughout the day. Here's another look at things as our front moves through tonight. And tomorrow, notice this particular model. I just showed you what's called the high-resolution rapid refresh. This is the RPM model, which is kind of our in-house model. Notice it dries things out here by 1 in the afternoon. That might be a little too aggressive with the drying. Suspect this is a little bit too aggressive bringing in the drier air. So if you have things that involve being outdoors tomorrow, I know there's a couple of local high school football games towards the end of the day tomorrow into tomorrow evening. I suspect by evening we're drying out, but a good chunk of the afternoon could still be kind of damp. By Sunday, we're clearing out. We might start with some clouds Sunday, but I think in the afternoon we do dry things out, and then high pressure drifts to our north, and that means by Sunday night and Monday, we should be nice and clear. Clouds will increase again from the south later Monday, and by Monday night, probably talking about some rain once again. Well, speaking of rain, we're not in for a lot of heavy rain here at all, maybe a third of an inch. But look at these totals over the next 48 hours down across the Mississippi Valley, down towards the Red River Valley. Some places right in through here could easily see 3, 4, 5 inches of rain. And, of course, flooding is a concern, and also pretty heavy ice storm threat down there in parts of Texas and Oklahoma and into Kansas as well. All right, let's talk about the longer range quickly here. I mentioned clouds increase later Monday. That's ahead of this wave of low pressure moving in from the south and west, and by the time you get up to go to work and school Tuesday morning, shower chances will be increasing. I think this is a breezy day, and there could be showers throughout the morning, and we might try to get a dry slot through here in the afternoon. Not sure about that yet, but there's a chance this drier air swings in the afternoon. But certainly Tuesday morning looks pretty wet at this point. As we go into Wednesday, the colder air wraps in. So what you have going on here Wednesday is our low is swirling up here across parts of Michigan, driving in the northwest winds, and it's cooling down. And I think there could be a few snowflakes trying to mix in with rain showers on Wednesdays. That's going to be a much different feeling day. And the good news is it's kind of a one-day deal. By Thursday, we might hang on to the clouds for a chunk of the day, but we should dry things out later. And look what's off to the west. Not much towards the end of next week. Should have a pretty tranquil end to next week. So, we've got our ups and downs coming in the forecast, but I'll tell you, the longer range, there's going to be chilly days here and there, but there's absolutely no sign of any sort of sustained cold weather through about the first half of December. Thanks for watching the Friday Night Weather for Weather Geeks, everyone. Hope you have a great weekend. I will check in as needed on social media over the weekend. Otherwise, check out Andrew and Candace's forecasts. Andrew in the morning, Candace in the afternoon and evening, Saturday and Sunday. I'll see you right back here on Monday.